What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. Your boy Atticus, your boy Moo, with another episode of the NYG Blue Zone podcast.
What's up, everybody? We excited to be here with y'all tonight. Moo, we got a lot to talk about.
My God.
I mean, we haven't actually been together on the podcast since I think the end of last season, which was a just complete failure. The level of disgust that we collectively experienced was just like it was bad, right? But coming into the off season, like we got over the shock of knowing that we were going to keep Brian Dable. In fact, I guess I was kind of like, okay, Dable's coming back. Shane's coming back. They're going to get, especially after the draft and what they did during the offseason with some of the moves they made. We was like, okay, right? But I think we was still probably both a little bit surprised that they kept our defensive coordinator, Shane Bowen, who really didn't show us a lot last year. What did you think about all that?
I feel like for the first time in a while, I came into this season with some excitement, so much talent we built around this team. I felt like this was the season. This is the season, not was. It's not over yet, despite what it may look like at the moment. But I feel like this is the season that these guys need to show that they can put together a successful season, and we cannot look like an high school football team out there. And so far, we're not doing that on.
Yeah, I agree. And I really don't think it has a lot to do with the individual talent that we have because in the skill positions, I think we pretty sacked, right? Like when you look at the running back position, the tight end position, the linebackers, our safeties, our corners, even our offensive line, I would dare say, I think we have individually and collectively from offense, defense, and special teams a lot more talent, probably more talent than we had on some of our teams that won Super Bowls. However, I don't see our team playing with a scheme that complements each of those individuals' talents. Like you look at some of the games that they've played and listen, Brian Burns, the effort he has put on the field
Freak.
has been unbelievable.
He's a
He's the
freak.
guy that we wanted. Kayvon Thibodeau supporting the effort that Burns is putting out there. Unbelievable. Number one draft pick, Abdul Carter. The work he been putting in and been getting held, and those holds have not been called. Unbelievable. I would dare say, and Dexter Lawrence is probably our best pound for pound player on the defensive side of the ball. He still hasn't even met his stride yet, but because he's commanding so much attention, he's definitely having an impact on the game. But when you got that much talent and you don't have a good scheme, you end up losing games.
And that's what it is. I feel like you see it happening so often. I really, really, really hate to bring this up, but Xavier McKinney leading the league in interceptions. Daniel Jones looked like Peyton Manning. Saquon doing what Saquon did. Malik Neighbors said this after a
Julian
game last
Love, Pat
year.
Williams.
Yeah. Yeah, Malik Neighbors said it after they benched Daniel Jones last year, and he said it's not a quarterback problem. And for some reason, this season, it's standing out more. Like I'm hearing it a lot more than when he actually said it. The problem with the New York Giants is so much bigger than the players we have. And we need to figure out how to fix that.
I was watching this Sunday's game. Don't ask me why I tortured myself and sat through it, but I did.
Too.
And while I'm watching the game, I'm thinking to myself, is this what we are? Are we like a franchise that's just in a perpetual state of mediocrity and failure? Like, this is what we've become. This is what the New York Giants have put on film. This is what you can expect to see at 1 o'clock on a Saturday after or Sunday afternoon, or if they are unfortunately the world is forced, football fans are forced to watch them on a Sunday night or Monday night. This is what we're going to see from the Giants. Is this who we've become? I just felt like I felt really depressed when I thought about that.
Yeah, one of my favorite players to put on a Giants uniform, and he's not like a Hall of Fame Giant, but I know what he gonna do every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday is Okereke. Him letting Patrick Mahomes snatch the ball out his hand during that fumble was the
Disgusting.
weakest thing I've ever seen.
Disgusting.
I just feel like as a team, we just like it makes me not want to buy no gear until they get their act together. We were so much better than what we did on Sunday night. And and not that so much better would have won us the game, but I'm okay with even losing in a great effort. That was just embarrassing. It was just
Yeah.
it's getting to the point where I ain't even mad no more because it's
Yeah.
expected.
I honestly felt like, first of all, you're right for pointing out what happened with Okereke. That was like disturbingly bad for him to be put on the ESPN loop in that context. That was pretty bad. And I will also say the performance that the Giants put on the field against Dallas was pretty good. Defensively, there were just far too many breakdowns. We understand that Dallas has a defense that's like a freaking sieve. So I knew they were going to put up points. I didn't know they was going to put up 37 points.
It was a fun
But
game.
coming off of that loss against Dallas, like there were a lot of positives that we was able to draw from, right? We saw some flashes on the defense. We saw some flashes, many flashes, in fact, on the offense. 200-yard receiving performances from two different Giants plays was incredible. The running game never really got started, but Russell Wilson looked really good. They sprinkled in Jackson Dart a couple of times, Scatterboo a couple of times. Like I felt really encouraged coming out of that defeat. So much so that I thought for the home opener, Sunday night football, the Chiefs are struggling this year. The Giants are gonna win this game. I felt like they were gonna win. And that wasn't a looking at it through my blue lenses or anything like that. Like they looked like an evenly matched 0-2 set of teams going into the stadium. And individual positions, skill positions, with the exception of quarterback, the Giants eclipsed the Chiefs in every area except for quarterback and coaching. And guess what beat them?
Coaching.
Quarterback and coaching.
Yep. It was I felt like the offensive coordinator knew that our defense was going to be hungry for sacks, and they told Patrick Mahomes, they can't hit you if you ain't got the ball. And he got that ball out fast, and we never adjusted to that. Our offense never adjusted to what was going on in that game. And it was just, it was, I wanted a lot more out of Slayton, Wandell, and Russell. Um, when your best guy is getting double dog game, that means somebody is on one, and you got to win those. You
And they
got
didn't
to.
adjust.
It didn't adjust. It was terrible. It was. I watched the whole thing. I was sad. My wife fell asleep. I was jealous. You know.
Yeah. I tell you, he was jealous. A couple of it's hard to find anything that was good about that game, but Andrew Thomas
Scatterboo.
came in.
He
Scatterboo,
looked good. Andrew
absolutely.
Thomas looked good.
Andrew Thomas looked incredible. He looked like he didn't miss a step. He looked healthy. He was agile. He didn't allow any pressures, any quarterback hits. He held it down on the left side of the line. And Bo came in and he struggled a little bit, but that's what you expect from a fifth round pick, right? Following in the footsteps of Andrew Thomas. But I thought the offensive line overall played pretty good against the Chiefs. Obviously, there was some breakdowns, but it wasn't the train wreck that we were used to seeing. But what I noticed, and I wonder if you picked up on this too, Russell Wilson was getting happy feet back there. Like he would have a pocket that wasn't collapsing at that time, but he felt like it was going to collapse, that he started making really bad decisions with the football or trying to scramble out of the pocket. A couple of times he threw the ball. Matter of fact, he threw the ball in the tunnel out of bounds, and it was called intentional grounding. And he could have been called intentional grounding on another play too. He just didn't seem to trust that the line would give him that extra second that he needed. Did you pick up on that as well?
He was scared of Chris Jones. That's what it was. Now, I did pick up on that. Big Russell Wilson fan. On or off the Giants, I like the dude. But Russell Wilson on Sunday wasn't the same Russell Wilson who played Dallas. It was almost like Spags hit him with a defensive scheme that rattled him for the whole game. It was like, yo, I know that Malik Neighbors is double covered, but I gotta try. And that's what he did. He did try. And you know what?
2 picks in the first half.
Last year, and the year before that, and years before that, when Daniel Jones, when we was losing bad, I used to think, I wish Daniel Jones would just throw that ball down. I mean, we already gonna lose. Throw that, try to spread the field out, stretch it out. And that's what Russell Wilson did. I'm not mad at it. I am mad at our execution now. I am mad at, I like the Milwaukee Bucks as well, and this is an issue that they have. They have a game plan, and when that game plan don't work, they stick with it anyway. And that's what the New York Giants did on Sunday.
Yeah, and I don't think that Russell Wilson's ball placement was very good this Sunday. Like, if you're going to give Malik Neighbors a chance, you got to high point the ball so that he can have a chance. Where he
Yeah,
put the ball on those 2 interceptions, one was to Malik Neighbors, the other one was to Wandale Robinson. The one to Wandale Robinson was terrible. He was like double or triple covered. That ball should have never been thrown down the field. The one to Malik Neighbors, he threw it underneath instead of over the top. I couldn't understand why he made that pass the way he made it. And you brought up an interesting point. Like you said, Daniel Jones, and they call him Indiana Jones out there, right? Like
that's
he just
Peyton.
lighting shit up. No,
Uh-huh.
they calling him Indiana Jones right now because he lighting shit up. But the same things like you talked about, Malik Neighbors said it at the end of the year last year, that we don't have a problem with the quarterback position. Like our problem is bigger than that. It is glaringly obvious now. Do you think that the coaching staff, unless they turn this shit around quickly, and I don't know that I have faith that they're going to be able to do that, but unless they turn this around quickly, do you think that they are running a risk of losing the locker room?
Oh, this is a problem. The red button has been hit. We are officially in panic mode, right? Our defensive line only happens in my dreams. You make that on Madden. All right. It's an unbelievable defensive line. I love our safeties. I like our cornerbacks. I like our offense. Under any other offensive, defensive coordinator, GM, whatever is going on behind the scenes, if you take this team and put anybody else managing this team or running the offense, running the defense, coaching, I think we are a playoff team. I don't think we are a playoff team due to the fact that that is not the case. We have some good players. I feel like I feel like we got some great players. What we seen on week 2, I feel like we should be seeing that almost every week minus the other team putting up 40 points on us. But like with our offense, I don't know. I just feel like we are definitely losing the locker room. They losing the fans. Like I'm always gonna be a diehard Giants fan, but I don't even get mad no more. It's not surprising to me. The Dallas game didn't surprise me a little bit. People started texting my phone after the Malik Neighbors touchdown. Said this game is far from over. because the same thing happened to us so many times to the point where it's just definitely not a coincidence. And the people who are leaving and glowing, Daniel Jones looked like I always told people he was.
Yeah, I know. You brought up the safeties. I was disappointed with Paulson Adebo. Two opportunities to make two interceptions. He dropped both of them. Very disappointing that we brought him in here to improve partly the fact that the Giants' inability to intercept the ball. And he wasn't able to make two tip drill passes that they do every time in practice. So that was a little disappointing. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, a lot of the Giants play calling, particularly in the red zone where they have been terrible this year, had to do with the fact that once again, they didn't have a kicker. Can you even understand how this is the second time under this regime that the Giants went into an NFL game without a kicker?
I honestly, the first time you pointed it out, the more you said it, the crazier it sounded to me. This time, in this situation, where we could possibly be 0-3, and knowing before the game that he had a groin injury, we cannot be out here going for it on 4th and 7 against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a bad bet. I can't believe it. I'm hoping that young Ho Cool saved the day. I know you mentioned about kicking beyond 40 yards. I've always been a Cool fan though. I think he's going to do well for us, but just that's once again it goes back to not being prepared coaching. Coaching. A lot of people, it's cool to see powerhouses lose to good coaching. Teams
Right.
that like, oh man, how are you going to stop Josh Allen? And coaching stops Josh Allen. We do
Right.
not have that. We won't have that situation. We are sloppy. We penalties. Emotions look like it's running high. It look like the moment's too big for us almost every time that it matters. Every time that it matters. I'm sitting there when Malik Neighbors caught that last touchdown against Dallas. I wanted to have faith that our defense was going to close out that game, and that would have been huge for me if they did. But whenever the moment is huge, we don't show up, and
Yeah.
I don't know why that is.
You know what? What I will say is when he caught that ball and there was 25 seconds left on the clock, Giants went up by 4. I think they went up by 4. They went up by 3.
Yeah, because they kicked a 64-yard
Okay,
field
so they
goal.
went up by 3. I thought to myself, now if it were Dallas going up by 3 and we got the ball, I would not have had faith in our offense to go down the field. I was shocked when Malik Neighbors caught that deep Hail Mary bomb because that doesn't happen for us.
Does it?
Now, what I did think could happen, but I still didn't have any type of reliable faith, was that with 25 seconds, the Giants could possibly stop them. But again, did you see how deep the corners were playing off? They was giving them the middle of the field, giving it to them. Why did you change your defensive philosophy at that point in the game to we're going to give you 12, 13 yards of play? And if you give them 12 or 13 yards, it's not that difficult or unheard of for a player to turn a 13-yard catch into a 20-yard run, especially when you're playing a division opponent and it's happened to us on repeat for 10 years now. But I did think that our defense might have had a better chance than our offense. It still didn't work out. It was so disappointing. Anyway, that's 2 games ago. On this most recent game, I thought the defense played a little bit better, but they
Much
still are
better.
not in sync. They still are not in sync. Abdul Carter had Patrick Mahomes dead to rights on that deep shot with Paulson Adebo. What was that? Paulson Adebo cover? No, that wasn't Paulson Adebo covering. That was 22.
Oh, Drew Phillips.
Drew Phillips. That was Drew Phillips in coverage. That was a ticky tack PI call, by the way,
Of
but
course.
called him on a PI call to get the ball down in the red zone on that whatever that play was. Very, very disturbing. But I will say the defense played measurably better, but they still look like a discombobulated mess. It doesn't look like they have a scheme that they're putting on the field that's going to attack certain styles of play. Not like when you look at Steve Spagnuolo and what he came in there with, you already knew he was going to bring heat. It was going to come from the corners. It was going to come from the safeties. He was going to rush forward the line, and you had to figure out where it was coming from. And like you said, Russ was shook. He was shook for pretty much the whole game to the point where he didn't even have to bail out of the pocket, but he was getting rid of the ball because he thought pressure was coming when pressure wasn't even there. That's a great game plan by a defensive coordinator. I wish we had that again.
I feel like more than anything, and it started last year, it is continuing this year, and there's a spotlight on it. The Giants front office is getting exposed that they are the problem. And it's getting, and you can't ignore it. The Mara
Right.
family can't ignore it anymore. There is such a huge problem going on in East Weatherford, New Jersey, and we got to do something. We got to. Daniel Jones looks incredible. I thought it was a fluke 3 weeks in a row, and each week he looked more poised. His decision making is even better, and I'm like, man, it made
Yeah.
me think of when my wife told me that every other team make football look easy. The Giants make football look hard. Daniel Jones on another team making football look easy. You seen when he almost got sacked, ran for the first time? I'm like, oh my goodness.
Tell me he ain't look like Josh Williams on that play.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm happy for Daniel
Hey.
Jones. I like Daniel Jones a lot. I don't like what my team is doing right now. And
Yeah.
I super disappointed in that. I think we could have won that game. But I
And
just
not for
feel like
nothing, they let Daniel Jones and still had to pay his salary while he was on another team. This is our front office. Unbelievable. Now, a couple of people who they brought in, I will say, doesn't make up for all the failures, but Tyrone Tracy Jr., who left with a shoulder injury. We got to talk about Cam Scatterbo. Oh my God.
Juggernaut.
Woo! Cam Scatterbo. You got to talk about him.
He is very fun to watch. He is as advertised. You see his college games, his college highlights. He looked the exact same in the NFL. One of the things I feared for fantasy football purposes, because I drafted Tyrone Tracy Jr. in the keeper league, was Cam Scatterbo doing what Cam Scatterbo doing and running my man out of a job. And that's what he gonna do, because that man runs with an absolute purpose. If you gonna hit him, you gonna get hit, and it is exciting. He's wearing the right number for it too. He
Yes, he
wearing that
is.
Ahmad Bradshaw number. I am excited about this player.
I'll tell you what, Tyrone Tracy Jr., Cam Scatterbo, what a 1-2 punch coming out of the
Mm-hmm.
backfield. Now, Tracy, I love my man. I hope that he heals quickly and that it doesn't turn into one of those lingering things that keeps him out. Right now, they're talking about he's going to be out, I think, 3 to 4 games, something like that,
Yeah.
with a dislocated shoulder. Cam Scatterbo comes in, like you said, as advertised. He reminds me very much of a very young Jeremy Shockey when he became a member of the New York Giants. Same type of play. He looks for contact. He does not make business decisions yet and run out of bounds. He is going to put his shoulder, his helmet into your chest and you ain't gonna be doing no hitting him thinking you're gonna tackle him. You better wrap him up if you think you, and even that may be insufficient because he's gonna carry you for a little bit. Cam
Mm-hmm.
Scatterbull brings the business to the running back position. In fact, he is so good and has gotten to that place so quickly. I wonder if the Giants even have a place for Devin Singletary when Tyrone Tracy Jr. comes back, other than returning kickoffs, which, by the way, he did a great job this past week on kickoff returns.
I agree. I agree. I think Singletary's going to end up being cut, though. I do think he's going to get cut. I like Tyrone Tracy Jr. a lot. I like Cam Scatterbull a lot. I would like them to keep. I want to see, honestly, a Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery type deal going on back there. I'll be really happy with that. But man,
You think they'll
Cam's.
cut? You think they'll cut Singletary though, or keep him as because he's a good security blanket to have, right?
I mean, you barely see him. You know, he is a good
Yeah,
security blanket, but I feel like it's. We'll see what happens there. I feel like I don't see him often. It's easy to forget he's on a team. And to
yeah,
get to the part where you're doing special teams, it's,
yeah.
I'll
But
take
he's
it.
good on specials. He's
He
good on
is. He
specials.
is. You
And
know
one
who's
thing I'll say too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you're right. The other player that's been making me
Bellinger,
happy is close. Theo.
Theo Johnson. Listen, he them true drop passes in game one pissed me off. He
Oh,
made up
those
for it against
yeah,
Dallas. But in
yeah.
the game, the season opener, I was so disappointed that he trained as hard as he did, looked as good as he did during the preseason and training camp, and starts the season dropping passes.
I called them and we got that corrected.
Good. Tell him to make
We had a
sure he keeps it
conversation.
up. The only thing I wanted to bring up before, the other thing I wanted to say was one thing that I'm really happy with about our running backs room is all of them are good in pass pro. I have not seen a single one of them give up a sack on Russell Wilson. The chipping. Do you see that chip that Cam Scatterpool put on the defensive end?
How could you not mention that? How could you not
My
mention that?
God.
That
Like
was
I'm
grown
really
man stuff.
happy. Yeah, yeah. He put his big boy shorts on for that. I'm really excited about what our running game can become if we had proper coaching and some cohesion with our offense. Really excited about that. I think when Tyrone Tracy Jr. gets healthy and he's back out there, and Cam Scatterbull, because Cam Scatterbull can't play a lengthy career the way he plays. He'll give you 3 or 4 good years, and then his body's just going to break down because that's a lot of punishment that he inflicts and he takes on, and it's not natural to go through that many collisions and be okay. But
Yeah.
for a couple of years, I'll take it. I'll
You know,
take it.
Cam Scatterbull looked like what we thought Ashton Genty was going to be.
Yeah,
And we got him. We stole him.
yeah,
We got
no
him in
doubt,
the fifth round.
no doubt. I'm excited about the kid for sure. The other big news, Jackson Dart has been named QB1 at a game that me, you, Quan, and Stella Rose will be attending this Sunday against the Chargers. What say you about that?
Too soon. Too soon. I feel like they let New York media dictate what they're going to do. I would like Russ to start at least until week 7, week 8. What Jackson Dart got to witness is a iffy game week 1, a really good high scoring game week 2. Everybody loves Russell Wilson now. Leads the league in passes. He gives us a chance to win, is what was being said. And it true. Week 3, he's the villain now. Boo, we want Dart. That is what Giants fans will do to you. They want, what are you doing for me now? And I feel like the Giants should have kept Russell Wilson in there for at least 2 more games. Like, I'm so afraid that we're gonna ruin this kid like we ruined Daniel Jones. Well, I guess we
Did we
didn't ruin
though?
them. I guess we didn't ruin them. I stand corrected. But I don't want to ruin the kid. I want him to see the things that he is seeing and hear the things that he's hearing from the crowd. Because one day it could be him. One day he gonna be on cloud nine. Jackson Dart's the best. We got our guy. One day it's gonna be, why can't we get a quarterback? Could he handle the noise? Do you think he can handle the noise?
I think Jackson Dart can handle the noise. I do. I think that he's built for this moment. However, I also 100% agree with you that it is too soon to start him. I think that Jack Russell Wilson is being made to be the scapegoat of the coaching staff's failures. I really don't think Russell Wilson is as bad as they've made him out to be. They had him doing a naked bootleg quarterback sneak at the goal line on what was it, 3rd and 10 or something like
Yeah,
that at 36 years old. It was never going to work. These are plays that they used to they used to design for Daniel Jones, which Daniel Jones might be able to pick it up because he's a much bigger, more agile. He's a mobile quarterback. That is not Russell Wilson's game at this point in his career. I'll
correct.
also say that a lot of the play selections that I saw them drawing up for him didn't really fit his stature. He's a shorter quarterback and he's trying to throw passes or see receivers coming open over the middle, and they've got him over center. They don't even have him in a shotgun position. That is not something that aligns nicely with his stature and his skill sets at this point in his career. I just felt like they were setting him up for failure. Why, might you ask? Because they know they can't coach their way out of this situation without bringing in the kid that they drafted and hoping at this point that they get the spark that they're looking for to save their jobs. They know they're on the hot seat. They know it's too soon to bring Jackson Dart in. And I fear, like you thought, and I said before, this organization ruins quarterbacks. They ruined Eli's career at the end of his career. They ruined Daniel Jones. They didn't ruin him, obviously. They could have ruined Saquon Barkley. Like you said, people are beginning to see with clarity in 4K quality that this is the coaching staff. This is the front office. This has not been all this talent that the Giants have drafted. I would dare say to you that Evan Neal will get traded and become the
Yeah.
best right tackle in football on another team. That's how bad this coaching staff has been with developing players.
One thing I noticed about the New York Giants is they will find a player. It's kind of like finding somebody who real good at building houses and then telling that dude, we want you to make us a pool. I know you make houses, but you're gonna make pools for us now. They get people and they see they strong suits in college. They see what they capable of, and then they say, stay in the pocket. Don't run. I know you good at left guard. We're gonna move you to tackle. I know you good at this. We're gonna have you do that. Draft people for what they good at and let them do that. We do not do that. Lamar Jackson would not be Lamar Jackson on the New York Giants. They will tell him you cannot run. Stand in the pocket and throw the ball. And he would still be a great quarterback, but he won't be Lamar Jackson because the Giants will take that from him.
Yeah.
They draft
Well, let
these
me
players and they just they don't use them. Right?
right when they don't need to. Like let the guy ball. Let Russ. What did they say? Let Russ cook
Let's
or whatever
Russ
they used to
cook.
say about him. They don't allow for those types of things to happen. But now that we are where we are, right? We've we're just a dysfunctional mess, and I feel like we're just sitting here watching the corpse rot at this point. Like, because this season, I feel like is done already. But we
Already.
are where we are. We got Jackson Dart starting this Sunday. What are you expecting to see?
Expectations not high, Unc. They not high. Listen, I I want to see some good football. I want to see some good football, but the expectation is not high. I got a lot of faith in Dart. I don't want like I'm glad he's gonna be our franchise quarterback. I just feel like it's too soon. The thing that I am happy about is kind of piggybacking off of what you said earlier. A lot of our playbook is still designed for Daniel Jones, although Russell Wilson is 36. Jackson Dart can do Daniel Jones type things. So I feel like that opens up more things that they wasn't calling because of Russ, although they did call some of those things sometimes. So that's going to be cool. But if we could get the run game going, I think we're going to have ourselves a good game here. And we got to get the defense going. We got to get the defense going. But I got to be honest with you, the expectation isn't high because it's not because of gameplay. It's because of execution. It's because of coach. It's because of discipline. I feel like it wouldn't surprise me, not a little bit. I wouldn't even be mad because it's that expected with this team. If we got all the way towards the end of the game almost over, and we got it all sides and got them in field goal range and lost. Because we just do shit like that all the time due to we ain't got no discipline on this team. So it's hard for my expectation to be high. Could we beat this team if we did? I think so. I think we should be 4-0. But it's almost the players it's like they kind of doing whatever they want to do out there. And nothing's happening. It took 4 penalties and 1 drive for a player to get benched. 4.
You know what? You talking about Hudson, right? But so Hudson, let me say this about Hudson. I was very disappointed, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, boy, show him who you are, right? He brought out that nasty, and you don't see that level of emotion from the Giants. You know who you do see it from though? Like Brian Burns. But he plays so controlled. He's like a controlled chaos is what he is. You know what I'm saying? But Hudson, I was very disappointed. You don't pick up like he let it get to him mentally too much. But his that fire he was working with, if he could have controlled that, I would have been okay with 1 or 2 penalties. But he really let that get out of control. He
Out
did.
of control.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on the game on Sunday? What we gonna see?
Well, I think again, I'll reiterate this. I think that it's too soon to bench Russ. I think that the Giants really did put Russell Wilson in an untenable position where they kept an offense and an offensive scheme in place that was designed for a mobile quarterback like Daniel Jones, right? They didn't do anything that was really new except for in the Dallas game where they just said, let Russ cook. And Russ cooked, and we saw what he can do. This past week, it was just disturbing. It was hard to watch. You know, I would rather paint my entire house with Q-tips than watch the Giants play another game like that. It was that bad, right? So, going into this week's game, the running game is going to be critical. If the Giants can get the ball running, can have a good running game, and I think they can with Cam Scatterboo. And Devin Singletary is not a great running back, but he's sufficient.
He'll
I
surprise
think
you.
I think the Giants can have a good outing. Do I expect them to win? I do not. And the reason I don't expect them to win is I don't trust the coaching staff. I've seen this coaching staff though surprise me and come out with a game plan and it work and they look like, oh my God, this is what we've been waiting for. And then the next week they look like dog poo and I feel like I've been let down again. I think that what's going to happen is this is I have no data to support this, by the way.
Sorry, it's a
But
prediction.
the fans have been the fans is thirsty, right? We're parched for a quarterback that we can believe in. When they brought Russell Wilson in, nobody believed in Russell Wilson, but they said, okay, Russell Wilson, stopgap. He's a bridge to our next guy. They didn't believe in Jameis Winston, but okay, I like Jameis Winston. He funny as hell. Plus, he a good locker room guy. They brought Jackson Dart in, and we believe in him, right? We believe in him because he hasn't given us a reason not to yet. Even during the preseason, that boy made, because
He
honestly,
made
I
plays.
didn't really believe in him until I saw him with the pads on playing in some live action. Even though they were preseason games, I was like, yo, the kid is better than I thought. He's
Same.
not as advertised. He is much better than I expected for him to be. And what I really liked about him that I have not seen from Russell Wilson, what I did not see from Daniel Jones as a Giant, I see it from him in Indianapolis. Actually, I did see him from Daniel Jones as a Giant a few times. And I just haven't seen it from Jameis Winston because he hasn't played that often. Jackson Dart has an ability to make something happen when the play breaks down. We saw that in the preseason a number of times. I really liked how he scrambled out of the pocket, still continued to look downfield and found receivers from time to time. He didn't just tuck it and run. He was still looking for a better option than him running with the ball. So, but what I don't have faith in, Moo, I don't have faith that the Giants are going to have a game plan that fits his skill sets. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. So one of two things are going to happen. The Giants have all season been working on this playbook that was designed just for when they introduced Jackson Dart because they've been planning it. We just thought it would come later in the season, right? They had to accelerate their plans because they have looked so bad in their two losses. They look great in their one win, really bad in their two losses that they had to accelerate their plans. So maybe they have a set of plays, a playbook that
Are
they
you talking about
designed
the
just for the
Giants?
kid. I am.
What do you mean in their one win?
I keep saying win. That wasn't a win.
It was a win for us. It was the best Giants game we've seen in 4 years, but it wasn't a win.
Yeah. It wasn't a win. I'm sorry. I clearly spoke out of turn right there. But in that one game, we looked really good. Two games, we looked really bad, right? The one game we looked really good did in no way made up for how bad we looked in the other two games. So they had to accelerate their plans. And now that we're here, I'm thinking they had a plan for the kid the whole time. Hopefully, I think the offensive line is playing better, right? So I think that's going to check, right? I think the running backs room is good enough. Check. I think the tight ends are good enough. Daniel Bellinger, say what you want about him. The guy catches anything you throw
Yes,
to
he
him.
does.
Yeah. And then you got Theo Johnson, who is one of the most athletic tight ends in the league. If he could just figure out how to catch the ball when it's thrown to him, we're going to be. And then our receiving room, Darius Slayton is a really good receiver. He's a solid two. Leak is Leak. We already know what he could do. Wandale really opened up a lot of people. Listen, we got good receivers. Check. On the offensive side of the ball, I feel better about the offense than I have in a long time. Even defensively, but I got no faith in Shane Bowen. I don't even know what he does if he plans. I have no idea what to say about Shane Bowen other than I can't wait until we get a new capable defensive coordinator in here. I expect to lose, but I expect to be encouraged by the Giants' performance this Sunday. That's
I
the
was
best I
gonna
got.
say that. I was gonna say my last question for this episode would be: Do you think we're gonna leave the game impressed, disappointed, or exactly where we are right now?
Encouraged, not impressed, not disappointed. I'm gonna be disappointed because we're gonna lose. I mean, but Joey Bosa's out too. So when he was the anchor of that defense, he suffered some kind of an injury, so he's not going to be playing. But so I think we can run the ball. If we can run the ball, we can get some things going. But I don't know. Justin Herbert playing out of his mind this year. He like really vying for that MVP slot, and
He looked
between
like
him
me
and
when I
Josh
played in
Allen,
high school.
that's what I was thinking. That's exactly the way I see him too. I mean, he's probably a little bit shorter and a little bit less athletic than you were, but
Yeah,
he doing his thing. I give it
yeah.
to him. He doing his thing. But I don't know. What do you think?
I think I'm gonna leave there the same. I
The
think I'm
same.
gonna leave there the same. I gotta stay, so I start off here. Happy Giants, I'm here. Low Giants, I'm down here. I keep it
Got
here
you.
because it's easiest. It's easiest.
Yeah.
After we beat the now you got me saying that. After the Cowboys game, I was up here. After 2 minutes into the Chiefs game, I was down here. So I'm
Yeah.
just staying right here. I'm
I
gonna
feel
stay
you
right
on
there.
that. I feel you on that because the Giants is real good at making you feel like I got some hope, and then snatching your heart out and stomping it. Like, why would you think that after everything I've shown you?
Yep.
It's
Yep.
disgusting. Anyway, that's a show. That was a good one. Listen, for everybody, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so every time we drop some new content, you get it. Don't forget, we are going to be filming from the stadium that day, so we're going to get some good content. We're going to try to get there early to get some players, meet some players, get some autographs, just to have a good time before the game. Maybe do some tailgating too. We look forward to seeing y'all guys on that time next week. Moo, what you got to say to the people before we leave?
Go Big Blue. That's all.
Big Blue. That's right, baby. Listen,
Blue
thanks
Zone,
for spending
baby.
some time with us, everybody. We'll see you next week. NYG Blue Zone. Go Big Blue.
The Giants.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go, I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan man like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the dogs like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see all y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the Most High, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back-to-back number ones, that's the thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year. It's my year. Look.